Hey, good morning. This is Jeremy Elliott. Power to the people. If you don't know who I am, hopefully you know soon. Um, so this morning I was watching Coffee Pod with Chiza Zad, who is awesome, by the way, and he has lots of interesting things about relationships and things like that. And I can definitely relate to a lot of these things. And one of the main topics were how like there's a whole hashtag thing where women are bashing their man or whatever, like or whatever he doesn't know the teacher's name or the school's name, or whatever. But there's so much, that men do. There's a 50-50 relationship. So, if the wife knows all the information on one end and the man does more of the heavy work or vice versa, whatever, there is a balance, and that's a good thing. Usually the man knows what's good for his wife, or the wife knows what's good for the husband, for the children, vice versa. I mean, it comes with spending time with each other. That's why a parent knows their child and what's best for their child better than anybody else in the world. Um, I would assume it's the same for, a wife and husband if they're on the same team. Now, that's not always the case, and I know that. Excuse me. Still smoking. I probably shouldn't. And I know I shouldn't. But anyway, so the thing is, like, with my situation, I was a stay-at-home dad. I got really sick. I had always had bipolar, fibromyalgia, things like that. But then I had a heart attack in 2016, right before I had my 6-year-old. And that set me back a lot. But that is not why my wife started working. My wife started working because her family has a business and she wanted to. Okay, I've always I took up like having a life coach, and the life coach would tell me, okay, fine, you're a stay-at-home dad. You need to make sure the house is clean. You need to make sure there's food on the table. You always need to make sure that the kids' clothes, do the typical housewife stuff, but also say thank you every day. Let her know that you appreciate her. And I did that. I always did. And this was something that people could always ask my wife. Did Jeremy say you were beautiful every day? Yes, he did, and does. And did. At the time she could. Yes, he did. Has and does, and that's the thing. The simple things in life that are free. I did those as well as kept up with those things. Now, understand when you have 6 people living under your roof and four of them are adults and four adults don't clean up after themselves, that gets hard to take care of when you have children too. So as a father, my children, I clean up after my children. I wouldn't clean up after my stepchildren a lot of the time, and this would become a problem because it would build up, and all of a sudden I'm the bad guy again. You have to understand that this was a manipulation. This is why I come out here and say this, because I am a good guy. I'm a good person, and this one woman could bring out the worst in me. She could make me so angry. She could punch me in the face to the point. I mean, I had my hands behind my face one time. I was bleeding blood everywhere. And I'm walking down the street. And, the cops even showed up. They didn't take. Remember, they didn't take her to jail. Doesn't that tell you something? You know. But what I'm saying is, let me drink some of this coffee. Drinking the coffee pot. I love you guys. Jesus, you're the man. By the way, I drink coffee now because I learned my lesson. But what I have to say is that I was a very good husband. And that's what I'm saying. And I know that she's out there on social media now, spreading lies and saying, I was a bum and I didn't do this and that. No, 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 no. Because what I was hearing was a totally different thing. I was hearing, I love you. I was hearing when I said, hey, look, are you working too hard? Do you want to stop working? No, no, I like working. it did. It seemed to give her purpose anyway, because sitting at home didn't. She would just sit around and play on her phone. And that's basically what started happening. When we cleaned her life up, she started coming home, sitting on the phone. Now, I had no problem with that. No, if you work all day, go home, take a rest. And I let her, I say let because it is a two-way street, One time, an officer who came to one of our domestic disputes, and I said, I'd let her take a nap. I have no problem. You let her what? Kind of so, because if I wasn't there, how was she going to do that? But yeah, so yeah, I never had a problem with that. But just when the weekends would come, it was either, hang out, be a family woman, or go work, or you're to impress your family. That's kind of what it became more. Let me impress my family because all the money wasn't going to the right things or us or anything like with the bills. I mean, I was outside running generators to keep the electricity going and stuff, and we had enough money. And people wonder why those bills didn't get paid. Ask her. She was in control of the money. I don't know, But was she out there in the middle of the night gassing up the generator? No. Was she out there going to get the gas? No. Did she keep the house clean under the circumstances? No. When they came and turned our water off, if she wasn't paying the bills, was she washing dishes with bottled water and having to go back and forth and wash clothes? No, I was, and that's the whole thing. She can say anything she wants to, but the truth be told, So don't believe everything you hear. That's the story. It's not just my ex; it's a lot of exes, and there's a whole bunch of them out there that need to be taught. And I think that's what's boiled down to now. We've come to the point where men are sick of it. They're sick of it. I mean, it's like, well, I'm especially me. Like, as far as I go, if I don't find somebody who's gonna accept me for 100% who I am, almost like really need me in their life, like need to know what I got to say. If what I'm putting down is not something that you need, don't come knocking. Like I'm good without it. I mean, I need to be looked up to at this point. Otherwise, forget it. You can't look up to me, then don't come. If you think I'm a dick or a dork or whatever, excuse me. Don't. But I'm just not interested in the fight anymore. Or the sex or the relationship. I'm more interested in seeing if it even's possible at this point. Because if it was, I would assume I'd still be in a good relationship. I'm not. I know it's possible. I have parents that have been married for a very long time, but old morals. Actually, my ex is. I mean, we're still officially married, but my ex's parents have been together for a really long time. We know it's possible because in her genetics, it's possible. The only person that didn't make it possible was her. And like I said, maybe it was time to call it quits in our relationship, okay? But what she did to our children was unacceptable. And that's a whole nother video. I mean, she gave up and abused my children so she could be with other men and use drugs. And I think that speaks loud enough. But it's on the side of men and women and fighting. Yeah, be careful. There's a lot of narcissistic women out there. Drink coffee, man. Like, no, I won't. She's a man. I drink coffee, like I said, because I learned better. And I hope you guys do too. Power to the people. This is Jeremy Elliott. Be good. Listen to your intuition and stay strong. Peace.